Hello, the internet. It is Saturday, the 25th of September, 2021, and welcome back to the channel. I think I just swallowed a fly. No, that didn't happen. Happened yesterday. I did swallow a fly yesterday. Nothing happened just then. I was being silly by touching my mouth, trying to pretend that I'd swallowed a fly. That's the idea of this stream here. Talking about, is it bad to swallow a fly? What actually happens if you swallow a fly? You always hear people talk about, make sure you clean your hands, wash your hands, don't let flies touch your food, blah, blah, blah. They're full of germs. Therefore, if you swallow one in its entirety, you would assume that you're getting a lot of germs, right? So that's the conversation today. Happened to me yesterday. I want to find out if it's really all that bad or not. Haven't found much on the internet, on the YouTube machine. I got two videos. I got one, what if you accidentally swallow a bug? And what happens when a fly lands on your food? So I guess we can bring the two of the stories together, getting whatever we can from both of those videos. But before we do, in the chisel chat, EC Norseman 0 Drake. Wait, you swallowed a fly? My wife was asking where the hell that happened of your surfing. I guess he meant what happened to my surfing. Hope all is well over on the other side of the globe. Most likely we'll be working, so I'll have to watch the story when I get on later. The replay. No worries, EC Norseman. There has been, and I put this chat comment there, there has been some surfing content on my channel, but as you are aware, YouTube do suppress my content. So those three videos that went up last week, they've just been sitting there getting no views. So nobody... Arguably, everybody likes my surfing content, or everybody asks me about when are you doing surfing, when are you doing surfing, when are you doing surfing. I put out 3 videos 3 days in a row, and those videos tanked. So obviously nobody saw them. So thanks YouTube for that one. Cheerses. So I said that. Thanks, buddy. 3 surf clips went up last week, but YouTube buried them. Coffee Cup, which is Chin Marie. Ciao, Benon. Hello, Chin Marie. And by the way, EC, little cheers for you for later when you watch the replay. Chin Marie, you get 2 cheerses. How about that? Ciao, Benon. Hello, good morning. Can we get a likes before? Yeah, dudes, we've got 5 people watching and only 1 like. Can we get the likes up, up, up? At least, at least 4 likes, I'm assuming we could get out of 5. One of the persons watching is Troll, right? So at least we can get up to 4 skis. That'd be radskis. David, good morning, and Gives. I hope you're doing well, my friend, as I just woke up. Good morning, David. Hello, I'm doing well. Hold on a second. Well, let's get through the chisel chat here. In the chat, Coffee Cup, dancing, 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 horns, horns. Avery's brag book. Is it late there in Aussie? No, it's morning. G'day, Avery. How you doing? A little cheers for you. It's morning here. It is 9:08 in the AM. Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or good day to you. Tim Arskog, message retracted? Tim, what are you retracting? What are you retracting? Mosquitoes carry disease. Avery's, this is true. Mosquitoes carry disease, but how dangerous are they? I mean, there's mosquitoes in my room every night. I don't know. I still feel okay. Do I look okay? Still healthy? I would be more scared of parasitic infestation after. Parasitic infestation. So like you're talking about the maggots and crap that flies, the babies, right? The babies. Timsky, you'll have to swallow a spider to catch the fly. Do you know what? When I was looking for, swallowing a fly, dangers thereof, nearly everything that came up was that nursery rhyme. So there's not a lot of factual information about this, but there's a lot of nursery rhymes talking about this situation. I think I'll die, Coffee Cup. Once had a girlfriend cut her lip on my fly. Not too sure I understand what that means. That's the chat up to the speed that we're at. Then you'll have to swallow a bird to catch the spider that you swallowed to catch the fly. So let's ease up on the nursery rhymes. I found all that stuff as I was searching for this. Hey, by the way, thank you. I see the 4 likes now. Thank you very much. I see 5 crew watching and 4 upvotes. Thank you very much. That's cool. Kind. So, how it happened... Speaking of mosquitoes, little bugger. Might have been fluff, actually. How this happened, right? How this happened yesterday. So, I went for a surf before my stream. Now, arguably, the surf wasn't great. The conditions, as the day progressed, the conditions got better. And I use that term very lightly. They weren't good, but they got better. And I thought, you know what? It's a beautiful... It was 26 degrees yesterday versus 13 today. So I was like, you know what? I got to get out there. I got to go. I don't care if it's not great. I'm going. So I went out for a surf. Going down the track, the trail to the beach, the pathway, there's a lot of overgrowth, and I'm making a point. This sounds a bit silly, but last time, which was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, might be 3 years ago. No, I think it's 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when it was sort of like it is now, I went down and did the full cutback of everything. Like, I cut back all the bushes and all the overhangings and all the roots that come out and struggle across the tracks. Not just the private access, but the public access. Right? The two trails meet up. One's private access, one's public access. They both meet up to get to the water's edge. I did that, and I said, and that was a 2-3 day job. And I said, I'm not doing it next time, right? Somebody else can do it. This private access is for 6 houses, maybe 7 with the new one. 6. Let's call it 6 houses. That's the private access, and then the public access is whoever wants to go to the beach. So I said, I'm not doing it this time, right? Somebody else from these houses, or heaven forbid, the council who paid rates to do that, come and do it. So I said, I'm not touching that this time. And so now whenever I walk down, the bushes and the shrubs and all the crap are growing right over, and you got to like weave in and out, and you got to duck, and especially if you're carrying a surfboard. And I was ducking and weaving and swapping and sweeving and kicking and passing, and I must have knocked something because a series of insects flew around, and one of them quite literally flew straight at me and into my mouth, and before I even knew what had happened, it had gone down. Like it happened so quick that it was in my mouth, and the response that I had, the natural reflex action, caused me to swallow it. Like, you'd think your natural reaction would be, pah! My natural reaction was, what was that? Oh my goodness, I swallowed a fly. I mean, I could have Heimlicked that out, but it's such a small, soft, by this point covered in saliva, mucusy, gunky. It's not like you've swallowed like a Mentos and you can go, and that thing will pop back up in a hard shape. This is a soft, malleable insect. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I swallowed a fly. Who cares? And it's not the first time it's happened in my life. Get out of there. Little bug flying around. It's not the first time, right? I've swallowed a fly before. I know what it's like. And I survived it. But it did get me thinking. What are the benefits? Benefits? I said benefits. Or the negatives of doing this? Are there benefits? I mean, you know, there's people out there that drink their own urine. I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me if we found a certain community that eat flies intentionally. That would not surprise me in 2021 to read something similar, or if not similar, exactly that. So I want to find out, are there health benefits to eating flies? If not, what are the health non-benefits, detriments? In the chat, fly is also a zipper. I did understand that. I was trying to get Tim out of the gutter, Chin Marie. I didn't want Tim to remain in the gutter where he likes to play. So I will not read his last comment because I see he's still down in that gutter, although he is using the Nursery Rhymes as a disguise. Okay. Does anybody know if there are health benefits to eating flies? I mean, we eat all kinds of foods, don't we? We eat all kinds of foods. People are eating stuff. People are consuming things that you might not think. Certain cultures, certain countries, they're eating dog, they're eating insects, you know, scorpions, deep fried Mars bars with cockroaches and crap. I'm just saying, right? It's not like just because you think the fly is not a food item, somebody else may think it is. If that's the case, what is the best way to prepare a fly? And in many ways, if I got one flying into my mouth and I swallowed it, didn't I just get a delicacy? That's a rarity, right? You didn't have to do any preparation. It came right to you. It's like the cow. You're eating a rare steak and the cow walked up to you, fell onto the hot grill, sizzled itself, and then just flopped onto your plate. That's what I'm saying, right? It came right to me. So I did find these videos here. What if you accidentally swallow a bug? This is from the Wall Street Journal. Let's take a look and see what they've got to say.
It can happen on a motorboat, on a bike, or even while you're jogging. One moment you're having a great summer's day, the next moment a bug flies into your mouth and you accidentally swallow it.
Now you're talking, Timsky. People do eat maggots as they contain a high level of protein. See? This is a valid contribution, Tim. I like that you're not in the gutter. Thank you, man. How do they serve them? Deep fried? Presented on a banana leaf with a little strawberry daiquiri? Or is it just as a plate of maggots tuck in? Hold your nose and down they go. Is that how it works? Or do they actually give you, here's your entree, maggots. Maggots a la fresh. No. What's the cream? Creme de la creme de fra. What's the French cream with snails? It's been too long since I had it. I cannot recall. The acid in your stomach would kill a fly fairly fast. I don't mind if the fly's dead. I'm wondering about the nutritional benefit. Of course it's dead. No matter what you eat, it's gonna die almost immediately, right?
Only disgusting. But is eating insects actually harmful?
Bingo.
Joining us is Dr. Bobby Pritt. She's the director of the Clinical Parasitology Laboratory at the Mayo Clinic.
Okay.
Welcome, Dr. Pritt. How are you?
Oh, wow. Yo, Dr. Pritt, fix your aspect ratio. All sort of scaled out there, isn't it, Dr. Pritt? I think they are harmless, says Avery. Probably similar nutritional value as eating a spider or an ant. Genesis 3:19. Everything that moves is good for food. Is that a biblical... What? Is that a fact on the Bible? Really? Let me see. Bible verses. Is that a fact from the Bible? Can't I just type in Bible verses? Genesis 3:19. I guess I just typed that in, right? What does Genesis 3:19 mean? Genesis 3, chapter 3, verse 19. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and dust you will return. Doesn't mention anything about anything that moves is good for food. I don't see that there. I don't see that there. Everything, sorry. Everything that moves is good. I think you got that quote wrong there, Avery. Because that would lead me to say cannibalism is fine too. Everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Genesis 9 verse 3. You got it wrong. It's not Genesis 3:19. It's Genesis 9 verse 3. Ah, the number's backwards. Genesis 9:3. Here we go. Bible Hub. Ah, man, there's too many different versions. Just make one version, you wallies. Here's the NIV version. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. So everything. Does that include each other? Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. As I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. So there it is. All the vegans cannot be religious because it says here you've got to eat everything. Even if you're not hungry? Every creature that lives and moves will be food for you. As I gave you the green plants, I have given you everything. And every creeping thing that lives shall be yours for food. As the green grass, I have given everything to you. Oh, that's a different interpretation. So basically what I'm hearing there is if you're a vegan, you're out of the religious. You can't be religious and vegan because he says right there, you got to eat all the stuff, including things that move. Well, all things that move, which would include spiders, flies, and your neighbor next door, right? Crikey. Let's continue with old mate aspect ratio incorrect girl.
Oh, I'm doing well, Jeff. Thank you.
So I assume most of your work, with insects and humans has to do with bites, not accidental consumption. So how often does this come up, and what's the actual risk here?
Well, I think it happens quite a bit, and
Is this, I'm not kidding you, is this Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson? Sounds like it. Tim, thinking about it, the act of cannibalism is about eating humans for food, even as an act of worship. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about cannibalism being an act of worship.
I just don't get those specimens in my laboratory, but I think we've all been out on a bicycle
Don't have a cow, man. Sounds like her, right?
or go.
Yardley Smith is the voice of Bart Simpson. Who's the voice of Bart Simpson? Is it Nancy Cartwright? Voice of Bart Simpson. I thought it was Yardley Smith. Nancy Cartwright. It's not her. It's not her.
On the show, we have to actually talk to ourselves.
Rod, Todd, this is God.
See, that sounds a little like her. That's the wrong one.
Going for a run and accidentally swallow a bug.
So,
Usually a problem.
yes. So which insects are the ones that are probably okay to eat? Let's say you're on a boat and it flies in your mouth.
Well, usually it's going to be small flying insects, gnats, flies, just small insects that really aren't going to be much of a concern.
There you go.
There's probably only a few situations where I'd be concerned about actually eating or swallowing an insect.
And
Right.
which ones are those? Just so I
Elephants.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd break it down into a few categories.
You wouldn't want to swallow a wasp, right? Because that'd start stinging as it goes down. A wasp or a bee would probably be one of the... I reckon that's what she's going to say. Anything that can sting you on the way down, that's a no-go.
First of all, I think it would be unlikely, but possible that you could accidentally swallow a stinging or biting insect.
Bingo.
Like a bee?
A bee, right, exactly. It would be pretty unusual, but if one got near your mouth or in your mouth, it could sting you.
Exactly.
And
You'd have a little pain and swelling. And
Like you wouldn't want to swallow a shark. It would bite you. A small one, a baby shark.
And of course, if you're allergic to bees or something like that, that's a huge concern.
right, so that would be the very rare situation, but if you were allergic, then depending on your degree of allergy, it could be life-threatening.
What about, you had mentioned cockroaches as...
Cockroaches, wow. Timsky, some early groups ate humans to serve their gods. Happened most notably in South America, to do with human sacrifice to appease the gods. Yeah, right. I do recall that in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Well, fairy tale. Anything poisonous is out, right? No snakes. No snakes going down, straight down, head first.
Something you don't want to eat, in case you didn't know that already.
Right. Well, some people do have allergies to some of the proteins that are produced by cockroaches. It's really more of inhalation that if you have asthma, it could trigger an asthma attack.
Huh.
So getting it near your mouth, in your mouth, accidentally inhaling near where cockroaches are could trigger an asthma attack.
Now, there's also that urban myth or that wives' tale or whatever, however you label it, where they say everybody eats spiders when they're sleeping. I've heard this before. Like, oh, did you know if you sleep, you nearly all the time swallow spiders? It's like, get out of here. I mean, I know that there are spiders in my room. I like them. They're good. They catch all the bugs and the mosquitoes. I let them thrive, right? And in the summer, which we're moving into warmer times now, They come in. The other day I was streaming and I'm looked down and the door was open ajar. Fly screen was closed, door was open, but that still leaves like little thin slivers of like gaps. And just a common garden spider was just going walking across my carpet towards me. And I'm like, I didn't have this glass full. Let me have a swig. But I always get like, got a schooner glass up there, put it over the spider, stick the paper underneath it, lift it up, carry it out, put it back in the garden. Thing is, those things come back in. You know, they come back. Next day, you'll see the same spider back again. Put a little bit of like a little bit of liquid paper on its back, a little bit of white out, and you'll see the same spider. It'll be the same guy coming in all the time. They come in to hunt. So the idea that you swallow them at night, I mean, unless I'm swallowing and then they're coming back up again, I don't think I'm swallowing spiders. In fact, I know because the same spiders are in the same corner in the morning. So, watching Survivor Man on television years ago, he would eat scorpions but cut off the stinger. Yeah, I remember seeing. A lot of people don't remember this, but what's his name? Louis. I was going to say Louis Theroux. Louis Cole, Fun for Louis. You know the big YouTuber Fun for Louis. He actually began his YouTube career as Food for Louis, and his shtick was to eat anything and everything, whatever was. He literally took Genesis 3:9. Literally everything is food, and he would eat shit on camera, and that's how he became notable on the internet. He ate his goldfish. That's right. He got sued. Yeah, he got sued by the whatever the English RSPCA or the animal rights activist wallies are, whatever those yahoos are called in the UK. They sued him for eating his pet goldfish, and his response was, I don't want to speak on his behalf, but from what I recall, he was like, so any other fish is fine, but a fish I buy at the pet store is not fine? It's a good point, right? Like, you can go to a fish market and buy fish that they've killed, because he ate it raw, like live. He picked it out of the bowl and ate it. And they didn't like that. That's inhumane. It's like, so like hauling a massive net out of the ocean with all these fish just having no chance of escape, hauling that out of the ocean and flipping it onto a boat and then putting them in a snap freeze locker. That's fine. But some dude popping one that he bought and he owned and eating it, that's not fine. It's a strange line to draw, right? But anyway, he did eat spiders and scorpions and all kinds of crap, right? Whatever you could fit in your gob, he put it down. But after that drama of getting pulled up and heckled, he decided to change tact. And I think he became vegan and he changed it to Fun for Louis. And his content got a little tedious and a little bit boring. PETA, that's it. People against protection of people. I don't even know what PETA means. People against? No. People. I mean, the last letter A is for animal, but T and A, ET, people against people. He should bring up Genesis 9:3. I think he might have done that, dude. I think he might have done that. It's isn't that weird though? Like, people got upset that he ate his own goldfish. It's like, you know, they eat their dogs in China, right? Like, the Chinese eat dog, and they have dogs running around the streets, and they hoe down on them. Yet one guy in England eats his own fish, and the world stops. It's so strange. What a strange world we live in.
You have also mentioned fleas as a possible danger.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. There's certain insects, like beetles and fleas, that actually have tapeworms inside of them. And if you accidentally eat one of them, you can become infected with that tapeworm.
Wow.
So, fleas are concerned if you have like dogs and...
People... It means people ethical. I knew ethical was in there, but people ethical treatment of animals. You've added another letter though. You've added an O. So it literally translates to people ethical treatment animals. So it's not even an acronym. It's just a garbage word. They could have thought that out, right? People ethical treatment animals. You can't add an O for an ov in there. That's not PETOA. It's PETA. People. Now you can't add a letter. You can't add a number to it either. People for. Get out of here. They started it out all wrong with that. Get a better an acronym that actually works.
You know, cats around the house. Can a flea actually jump into your mouth? Is that a concern?
Well, they do jump, and they can jump quite high.
True.
Now, the people who usually get this are usually young children. They're on the floor next to the dog or cat, chewing on the dog's tail, and probably swallowing fleas that way.
You know how you stop that from happening? Wear a mask. Ooh, controversial. Wear a mask even as a child.
I suppose a flea could jump up into their...
And this is why it's important that babies also wear a mask. In particular, those families that have baby children and pet animals. Oh my goodness, COVID's far out.
their mouth as well. It's a little different with beetles. Beetles are more likely to get into your foodstuffs without you knowing it. So flowers, grains, dry cereal, and then you usually accidentally eat them.
And with the, you mentioned the beetles and the cereal. Is that
Is this a cap game? The Beatles? Look at that lovely dog. Don't get me wrong, Avery. You don't want the chance of your child to inhale a flea or get COVID. In fact, even as the newborn baby pops out, you should mask them up. The doctor delivering the baby from the vagina should instantly cover the face with a mask before the baby even has a chance to get any oxygen from the outside world. Mask. Could be breathing in fleas. Could be. Next, we're gonna find COVID is spread from babies being born. Oh my goodness. Masks in the fetus now as well. Shit. You know what? Just wear a mask from the very beginning. That's what I'm getting at.
happening at your house? Are they getting into like your box of cereal, or is that happening at the plant?
Well, it can happen in both places, and the FDA
This
does
is very
allow
thorough,
for a
this video.
certain
That's
amount of insect parts in our food. It's relatively low, but they do inspections to watch out for that. But it could happen anywhere along the line, at the distributor, at the plant, during packaging, but then also in your house, especially if you aren't storing your grains and flowers in a dry, airtight container.
And you know, of course, there's cultures around the world that do eat insects regularly. And
Here we go.
I think they've been known to have a good source of protein. Is that actually true, or is that a myth?
No, it's true. There's a number of cultures around the world where insects, various bugs, are actually an important part of their diet.
Yeah.
So when you're eating and preparing food like that, that can actually be an important nutritional source.
There you
All right,
go.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pritt.
You're welcome.
Very thorough, very thorough. There it is. The answers: if you accidentally swallow a fly, all is good, all is fine. If you accidentally swallow a wasp or a stinging, such as a bee or a stinging insect, maybe you might get stung. And if you have a reaction to that, maybe you're asthmatic or hyperflectic, you have a heart condition, could be stinging you on the way down. That's not good. Most things are going to be fine. In fact, as we just heard, source of protein from a lot of insects. So my advice would be, if you are very hungry, you can chow down on as many insects as you want. Just use the food for Louis experiment, if you will, wisely, and don't ever hack down onto your own pet goldfish. That'll cause all kinds of trouble. Zachary, you have a nice channel, Gibbs. You made a lot of progress since 2018. Thank you, my friend. How you doing, Zachary? It's nice to have you. It's nice to see you. Yeah, so there's my cumulative, exhaustive answer to the question, what happens if you swallow a fly? Well, not much. There's a slight chance you might get sort of a bug ache. Bug ache. Get it? You might get a tummy bug. You will get a fly in there. You may get some, if it happens to be a flea, you might get some kind of parasitic worm that can pass on towards you, and then you might get the worm. So, if you have small children and you have pets, make sure the children are wearing masks when they're playing with the pets. That's right. Make sure they're wearing a mask when they're playing with their pets. Nothing to do with the sea bomb. This is all about not ingesting a flea bomb. You don't want to ingest a flea. The child could get tapeworms. Now, folks, speaking of ingesting fleas and flies and whatnot, I'm going to go outside and check the surf, and maybe I'll get a wave in. Thanks for you yahoos being here with me. I do appreciate you on these streams. It's fun. I like it. I'll see you all next week on the YouTube stream. No IRL today. The weather's lousy. I was going to do an IRL. It's not happening now. Lousy weather. Aero Gamer. Cheers, man.